This evening, distribution of national identification cards commenced countrywide. Top cop signals a zero-tolerance approach to abusive behavior towards police officers. A granddaughter is in custody for the alleged murder of her grandmother. In the region, U.S. eases Venezuela oil sanctions after government opposition inked deal. And internationally, China protests spread, reports of clashes with police in Shanghai. Welcome to another broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Commissioner of Police Acting Clifton Hicken met early this morning with traffic ranks of the Police Regional Division 4A and 4C, during which he reminded them of the importance of maintaining professionalism at all times, despite the daily challenges faced while executing their duties. Alluding to the Ghana Police Force's motto, Service and Protection, Commissioner Hicken told the ranks they should remember and be continually guided by the force's standard operating procedures, which must be strictly adhered to at all times. Commissioner Hicken made it clear that he has taken note of the recent incidents of aggressive and abusive attacks meted out to members of the Ghana Police Force while carrying out their lawful duty to serve and protect. The top cop declared that there will be a zero-tolerance approach in this regard and is seeking the public to desist from such behavior. Within the past 2 weeks, there have been at least 3 reported cases of civilians not only abusing police traffic ranks while on duty, but also physically attacking them in a blatant show of disrespect for the rule of law. The latest one is a 30-year-old minibus driver who was detained on Saturday after he assaulted a traffic rank over a driver's license. The incident occurred at Montrose East Coast Demerara Public Road. A mobile patrol responded and the driver was arrested and placed in custody pending charges. Mr. Hicken said this behavior would not be tolerated and anyone who feels they can assault and attack the police while carrying out their sworn duty to serve and protect will face the full brunt of the law. Police are looking into the alleged murder of a pensioner at charity housing scheme by her granddaughter. Dale Jarvis has more details.
Ranks of the Guyana Police Force are investigating the alleged murder of a pensioner at charity housing scheme, Esquibel Coast, on Sunday, November 27, 2022. The dead woman, 75-year-old Angelica Agata Gamel, was suspected of being murdered by her 20-year-old granddaughter, Cindy Gamel, whom the police have since arrested. Police inquiries disclosed that the now-deceased woman lived alone. She would be visited occasionally by her granddaughter, the suspect. Around 8 p.m. on Saturday, the suspect visited the grandmother's home with her 1-month-old baby daughter. However, around 4 a.m. the following morning, Gamel's neighbors told investigators that she heard screams, trampling and crying of a baby coming from the house of the now-deceased woman. However, around 4 a.m. the following morning, Gamel's neighbors told investigators that she heard screams, trampling and crying of a baby coming from the home of the now-deceased woman, which lasted for about 15 minutes. After that, the suspect came knocking at the neighbor. The suspect had the baby naked in her hands and claimed that the child had just died. She attempted to hand the baby over to the neighbor, who refused to take the 1-month-old. The suspect walked out of the yard onto the street with her baby. Police were called in and the body of Angelica Gamel was seen laying face up on a floor mat in the kitchen. The body was examined and there was a large wound behind the neck and one at the right side temple. Also 2 extensive injuries on the back of the older woman's head. The woman's hair was removed from her head and placed on the kitchen floor. The police found a pair of scissors with which appeared to be blood stains. The suspect was later arrested. The baby seemed healthy and was handed over to a family member. The police escorted the older woman's body to the Charity Cottage Hospital and she was pronounced dead on arrival by a doctor on duty. Several persons were questioned. The suspect had injuries on her right hand. When asked by the police, she claimed that she did not know how she received her injuries. She is in custody pending further investigations. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. The Ghana Elections Commission has commenced the distribution of national identification cards at all its registration offices countrywide from today, Monday, 28th of November. Persons who completed registration transactions during the cycle of continuous registration held during the period March to May 2022 and the claims and objections exercise which was held during the period August to September 2022 respectively are advised that they can uplift their national identification card from the GCOM registration office where the transaction was done. The Commission is also advising persons that authorizations will not be accepted and in this regard, registrants must uplift their ID cards personally in accordance with GCOM's standard operating procedures in relation to the verification of identity, transparency, and accountability. Specifically, only persons who would have completed new registration transactions, changes to their registration particulars, or applied for a replacement are required to visit the registration office. Additionally, the Commission is also urging persons who would have conducted transactions in previous registration exercises prior to 2022 and have not yet uplifted their national identification cards to do so immediately. Stick around after the break. Pensioner robbed and murdered at bush lot, and millions worth of narcotics destroyed along the Berbice River.
It's Clearance Black Friday Super Sale, where you can get half off your favorite designer brands. Ladies, come and shop your dresses, tops, skirts, underwear, and lots more. And for the guys, we're giving you half off men's shirts, jerseys, shoes, and lots more. Remember, this Black Friday sale is for one day only, Friday, November 25th. Clearance, always keeping you in style.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Police ranks in West Coast Berbice are investigating the alleged robbery and murder of a pensioner at Lot 131, Section B, Bush Lot, West Coast Berbice, during the early hours of this morning, Monday, November 28th. The victim is 85-year-old Samindra Shah, who lived alone. According to the dead woman's 37-year-old great-niece, Roshni Basdio, on Sunday, November 27th, around 6:45, she came over to Shah's home, where she usually spends nights with the elderly woman. Basio said they retired to bed in separate rooms around 7 p.m. However, Basio further stated that around 3 a.m. this morning, she was awakened by a male in her room holding a knife to her throat, demanding money. He took her out of her room, at which point she saw another male suspect in Shaw's bedroom. Basio said the male brought her to the lower flat and tied her up to a chair where he remained with her. She further said that while in the lower flat, she heard Shaw asking the suspect not to kill her granddaughter. Shortly after, the male with Shaw returned downstairs and the two searched the lower flat before escaping in an unknown direction. Inquiries further revealed that Bazio then untied herself, went to the upper flat to check on her grandmother and saw her lying motionless in a pool of blood on her bed, prompting her to make an alarm. She claimed that Shaw had a handbag where she usually kept her money, ID card, pension book and other articles, and this handbag was missing from her room. Bazio said her grandmother had about $350,000 in the bag, which she was saving to build her fence. When police ranks arrived at the scene, they saw the body of Shaw lying on the bed on her back. Bloodstains were on the entire body and the bed. 6 wounds were seen on her. The body was taken to the Fort Wellington Public Hospital, pronounced dead, and escorted to the Bailey's funeral parlor awaiting a post-mortem examination. Meanwhile, Bazio was escorted to the Fort Wellington Public Hospital with abrasions on her neck and right hand she claimed she received from the suspect. She is presently receiving treatment as investigations are ongoing. 3 cannabis farms along the upper Berbice River have been destroyed by joint forces. More from Dale Jarvis.
Police in Regional Division No. 6, along with the Police Narcotic Branch, Georgetown, Coast Guard and the Guyana Defense Force conducted operations in the Berbice River following reports of cattle rustling by a farmer of Kimbia Village, upper Berbice River, on Saturday, November 26, 2022. As the team went in pursuit of the perpetrators, they came across 3 suspected cannabis farms measuring about 8 acres along the Ebony Trail, upper Berbice River, with about 37,000 suspected plants ranging from 3 to 7 feet in height, weighing approximately 4,000 pounds. 3 makeshift camps with 400 pounds of dry cannabis along with 1 tiller and other farming equipment were seen. The cost of the suspected cannabis is estimated to be over 500 million Guyana dollars. At one of the camps, components of a suspected firearm were also found and have been lodged. All the cannabis plants and camps were destroyed by fire. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Don't go away after the break. U.S. eases Venezuela oil sanctions after government opposition ink deal, and Ecuador gangs. Gunmen storm hospital in attempt to kill teen.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our stores, you're welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. However, Maison Francois is more than just chocolate. We serve lunch, dinner, afternoon tea, and even Sunday morning mimosa brunch. Our convenient location at 133 Thomas Street, Kitty, makes it the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. Treat yourself with the taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown. Only at Maison Francois.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Hey, this is your fancy vehicle and that is your house?
Yes, this is my vehicle and actually I'm waiting on my land. I'm actually renting this house for $50,000.
$50,000? You hell boy, you crazy, you mad, you head no good. Why you buy? Look, let me show you the light. Come with me.
Come on down to Fabulous Homes today. Pay $50,000 every month for 36 months or until you reach 50% of your house costs. Move in after 75% of the cost has been paid.
This is wonderful. Let's go. Sign me up.
All right, let me go and dash away your landlord.
To explore our home ownership program, check our Facebook page for more information or come down to our office at Avalon Friendship.
Hey, Chinese, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Man.
You got through?
Yes.
Call us at 227-1380 or 615-8740. Fabulous Homes International Realty, changing tenants into homeowners.
At Fabulous Homes, we bring your dreams to life.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Police in Ecuador has arrested 7 gunmen who stormed a hospital in an attempt to kill 18 being treated there. Gang members took nurses hostage and exchanged fires with police before they were detained. All hostages were freed and no one was injured, officials said. The 17-year-old target of the attack, known as Dirty Face, is thought to be a rival gang member who is in intensive care recovering from bullet wounds. Venezuela's government and the opposition have signed an agreement seeking to end a political and economic crisis. The United States has responded, saying it will issue limited-term contracts allowing for oil extractions by energy company Chevron. Al Jazeera's Manuel Rapallo reports.
High hopes in the Mexican capital as delegates from the Venezuelan government and opposition meet at the negotiating table for the first time in more than a year.
We are very pleased to return to this noble Mexican land of sisters and brothers in solidarity with the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
The latest round of negotiations resulted in a signed agreement which seeks to resolve the crisis in Venezuela through free and fair elections and to ease crippling economic sanctions on the country.
What we need to guarantee is that in the next stage, which begins today, we are able to acquire the necessary political conditions to produce a democratic alternative for our country.
In response, the United States also announced that part of the agreement will include limited-term licenses for Chevron to resume oil extraction operations in Venezuela, a move that's seen as strategically important for the West as tightening sanctions on Russia have caused uncertainty over international oil prices. This latest round of negotiations between the Venezuelan government and opposition here in Mexico are being seen as a significant step forward in finding a lasting solution to the ongoing crisis in Venezuela. Some 7 million people have fled Venezuela since the start of the crisis. Experts say the newly struck deal could help bring the worsening migrant crisis to an end.
This will surely put the brakes on migration. Also, the freeing of assets that have been sequestered by the United States will allow for a return of migrants, or at the very least, slow their exit from Venezuela.
Another important point of the agreement signed between the Venezuelan government and opposition is the formation of an international fund to be administered by the United Nations, aimed at providing desperately needed humanitarian aid to the people of Venezuela. Manuel Rapallo, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
And internationally, protesters in China are demanding an end to its zero-COVID policy. It comes as infections reach record numbers for the 4th consecutive day. Al Jazeera's Sonia Gallego reports.
A sight seldom seen in Beijing. Hundreds of people on the streets voicing their fury at China's stringent zero-COVID policy. A rare show of public anger against the leadership. In Shanghai, the country's biggest city, police arrested protesters, dragging them away, placing them on buses. The night before, crowds of people were shouting, "Down with the Communist Party, down with Xi Jinping." This latest outpouring of anger comes after 10 people were killed in a fire at an apartment block in Urumqi. Social media users blamed a lockdown in the Xinjiang region for hindering rescue efforts. An ongoing measure in China's zero-COVID policy that's fueling wider unrest even as COVID cases surge.
It is definitely unusual that you have so many different cities all across China demonstrating right now. You have students who are protesting, you have workers who have been protesting, and this is quite unusual to see this all over China at this point in time. I think one of the main questions will be now what will happen in the days to come. How will the Chinese leadership react to this? Right now, you have a lot of going on in Chinese social media, but we can expect to have a harsh response on the ability to communicate all those pictures via social media, but also on the streets itself.
Vigils have been held at universities across China and in Shanghai's Urumqi Road, a street named after the city of Urumqi, in memory of the victims of the fire. In the capital, protesters sang while holding up blank pieces of paper, a symbolic protest against censorship, borrowed from Hong Kong's defiance of a ban against protest slogans in the territory, in the face of authority. China is the last major world power to enforce a zero COVID-19 strategy. It's continuing with snap lockdowns, lengthy quarantines, and mass testing to deal with outbreaks, methods abandoned by other major nations. Record numbers of COVID-19 infections have been recorded for days in a row, and many here are running out of patience. Sonia Gallego, Al Jazeera.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 30 weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2's Headline News Update. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Make sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.